First appearing in 2003 and continuing with regular updates, the OWASP Top 10 is a compilation of the top 10 most critical application security risks and vulnerabilities, which is produced with the goal of empowering developers, security teams, IT people to ensure that the applications they're using and they build and have are secure against the most critical risks. Actually, the OWASP is now the de facto standard for web applications security. As application security threats are constantly evolving, the current OWASP Top 10 is the 2017 list on the right side here. This list includes detailed best practices for both the detection and remediation of the vulnerabilities. Building on the success of the previous OWASP Top 10, which is the 2013 version available on the left side, OWASP has produced further top 10 lists mainly for Internet of Things and mobile development security risks. The OWASP compilation is mainly done by examining both the occurrence rate and the overall severity of each of the threats. As you can see here, a couple of things changed from the 2013 version to the 2017 version. Two of the items, which are A4 and A7 from the 2013 version, insecure direct object reference and missing function level access control, were merged to one item in the 2017 list, which is the broken access control. A couple of items from the 2013 list didn't qualify to be in the 17 list, which are the cross-site request forgery and unvalidated redirects and forward. On top of that, we have a couple of new items in the new list, which are the XML external entities vulnerability. We have as well the insecure deserialization and the insufficient logging and monitoring. It is worth mentioning here that OWASP is not affiliated with any technology company, but it's an open community project dedicated to enabling organizations to develop, purchase, and maintain secure applications. I will now try to briefly explain each of the vulnerabilities in the updated 2017 list. The first item is injection. If your application is receiving user input that goes into the backend databases, then your application is vulnerable or can face code injection attacks. So injection flows are a set of security vulnerabilities which occur when suspicious data is inserted into the application, such as commands. Non-injection types are SQL, OS, and XXE, which is the XML external entities. As for the second vulnerability, which is the broken authentication, actually when an application functions are not implemented correctly, the attack surface is open for attackers to easily break in and compromise password, session IDs, etc. So sessions should be unique to each individual user, and without some necessary session management, an attacker can sneak and steal credentials and information. As for sensitive data exposure, as the name says, it occurs when security controls such as HTTPS are not implemented correctly, thus leaving a hole for attackers to steal sensitive information such as payment information, username, password, IDs, PII information, etc. XML external entities attack is a type of injection attack, and it happens when the application parses or takes XML input and parses them. The attack occurs when the XML input contains a reference to an external entity that is processed by a weak XML parser. So this attack will lead to different leakages such as disclosure of information, denial of service, and server-side request forgery. The broken access control is actually a result of merging the insecure direct object reference and missing function level access control. Access control is meant to control what's authorized users are allowed and are not allowed to do within a web application, and to establish proper access control. When this is not implemented correctly, attackers will exploit this to perform unauthorized tasks. Security configuration is the most commonly seen issue according to OWASP. So strong security requires good and secure practices of configuring applications, frameworks, servers, databases, etc. Cross-site scripting is the most famous one on the list in my opinion, and it allows attackers to inject client-side scripts into public-facing web pages. Insecure deserialization, so Serialization is the process of turning some object into a data format that can be restored later. So users actually serialize objects in order to save them to storage or to send as part of communications. This serialization is taking data structured from some format and rebuilding it to an object. Using components with known vulnerabilities is actually when you use libraries, frameworks, and in your application from open source community, and in many cases these libraries and frameworks are vulnerable, thus will lure your application to be vulnerable as well. The last one, and according to OWASP, insufficient logging and monitoring coupled with missing or ineffective integration with incident response will allow attackers to further attack your system and actually maintain persistent attack or persistent access to your system in order to tamper, extract, and destroy data.